sports.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Cincinnati Reds. Hi, everybody, and a very happy 4th of July to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Reds concluding the series. Aaron Harang with a record of 5-5 on the mound for the Dodgers. And for Cincinnati, it will be Mike Leake with a record of 3-5. Personnel notes for the Dodgers: having a good night at Rancho Cucamonga. Why, Matt Kemp is playing and figures to play center field, so he's getting very close. Andre Ethier has been put on the DL. However, that's retroactive to June 28th. That means he's getting close to coming back sometime after the All-Star break. Mark Ellis has been activated. He has made a quick return, we're happy to say, and we're also sorry to say that Todd Coffey, the pitcher, will have to undergo Tommy John surgery. So we'll get to the ball game. We'll have a whole lot more coming up right after this. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Jack in the Box. You can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. By San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, now celebrating 26 years of fun. Visit sanmanuel.com for details. By 76 Gas, we're on the driver's side. And by Time Warner Cable.
Moments away from Dodger baseball on this 4th of July. Take a look at the NL West standings brought to you by Kia. Dodgers, Giants all square. A win tonight by the Dodgers. They're in first place out here in center field with Kenny Lofton and Steve Lyons. Steve, I'll start with you. Considering everything that went wrong in June, what do you expect in the second half? Go ahead and make a prediction. Where do you think the Dodgers will end up?
Well, I truly believe that the Dodgers stayed healthy all year. They'd have a 12 to 15 game lead right now over the West. That's not the case. And just because they get everybody back doesn't mean they're going to waltz right back there in the first place. You still have underperformers. Uribe, Loney, Gordon have not played well so far this season. I think they're the best team in the West, but they're going to have to prove it.
Well, I think the Dodgers are going to have a long road ahead of them right now. And at this point, they have to sit back and make this all-star break. But first of all, go to Arizona on the road, have a nice momentum going into the all-star break, because at this point, they're going to have to sit back and reflect and refocus on their game for the second half.
Yeah, well, the break couldn't come at a better time, but they could just play some solid ball, maybe steal a couple on the road, and then see what that second half brings. Looking forward to a good game tonight on the 4th of July. Ben has the call next.
Sales event by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. And by Dodge. Hi, everybody, and a happy 4th of July, wherever you may be, and happy birthday to our country, 236 years old today. A full house at Dodger Stadium expected for the final game of the series with the Reds. And for Dusty Baker and his club, they have already received a jolt by losing last night and having Pittsburgh already won today. Suddenly the Reds, a first-place team, are now 1/2 a game out of first place in second. For the Dodgers, they got not a jolt, but a lift, because earlier today the Giants lost in Washington. So the Dodgers take the field tied for first place. For Johnny Lee Baker and his ball club, here's his lineup. Zach Cozart at shortstop, Drew Stubbs in center, and Joey Votto at first base. Brandon Phillips hits cleanup at second base, and Jay Bruce in right field. Ryan Ludwig is in left field. Todd Frazier batting seventh at third base. The catcher is Devin Mesoraco, and the pitcher Mike Lee. The pitcher for the Dodgers, a former member of the Cincinnati Reds, and that would be Aaron Harang. Harang spent 8 years with the Reds from 2003 to 2010. This is only his second career start against them. The last time he faced the Reds was in June of 2002. So Aaron Harang, with a 5-5 record, will try to keep the Dodgers in first place with a victory tonight. The 34-year-old right-hander was beaten by the Mets last time out, and he will try to get above 500 now. For the Cincinnati Reds, Zach Cozart, the shortstop, who was beaten by Chad Billingsley the other night, but thank goodness has bounced back nicely. He led off last night, and he had a base hit and a walk. Earlier this year, he led off and hit a home run, the first pitch that Matt Cain delivered. Harang deals, and it's in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So the Reds and the Dodgers finishing off this 3-game series. Cozart hitting .250. Harang comes back, and it's low and away. 1-1 the count. So Aaron Harang, 34-year-old, trying to get above 500. 5 wins, 5 losses. He comes back 1-1, and it's swung on, hit in the air to right field, racing over as Van Slyke, and makes a one-hand catch for the out. So Cozart, fly ball to right, 1 away. Here are the Dodgers with the leather: Abreu, Herrera, and Van Slyke. The infield, Cruz, Gordon, Kennedy, and Loney. And the battery would be Matt Trainer handling Aaron Harang. So with 1 away in the first inning, here is the hungriest ball player in town, and that would be the fine center fielder of the Reds, Drew Stubbs. Hungry because he is 0 for his last 24 at-bats, swings, fouls it back, and the count 0-1. Tough enough to go 0 for 24. In this series, he is 0 for 9, and he has struck out 5 times in the series. So Stubbs trying to fight his way, as they all do, out of the slump, and the strike 1 pitch is taken for another strike. 0-2 the count to Drew Stubbs. Fine center fielder, 6'4", 200-pounder, 28 years old. Now the strike 2 pitch, very high, ball 1. For Drew, he was a first-round pick 6 years ago out of the University of Texas. He lives in Austin. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way, and Stubbs takes low in the dirt. 2-2. Aaron Harang was with the Reds coming over from the Oakland Athletics, and he was a member of the Reds from 2003 for 8 years, finishing up in 2010, moving to San Diego. Ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Gordon, quick release, good pick by Loney, and they retire Stubbs. So Stubbs on a good play at both ends, Gordon and then Loney backhanding the low throw. And we have 2 down in the first inning, and the batter will be Joey Votto. Joey Votto hitting .352, 14 home runs, 47 runs batted in. He has been a student, we understand, most of his life about Ted Williams, though I'm sure he's aware of the fact that today is the 10th anniversary of the passing of one of the great players of all time, Ted Williams. So Joey Votto waiting at the plate out of Toronto, Canada, and the strike 1 pitch is taken a little low. 1-1 the count. Joey, the all-star first baseman, and well, he should be. He was the 2010 MVP, got all the votes but 1. That went to Pujols. He takes low and away. So 2-1 the count to Joey. Impressive. He is 6'3", 220. He'll be 29 in September. Had laser eye surgery before the 2008 season. 2-1 pitch hit in the air towards the gap, and that's going to drop for the base hit and go to the wall. And Votto is on his way for 2. He will go in there with a belly whopper for the double. So Joey Votto comes up with his 34th double. He has 14 home runs, and he just put the bat on it and drove it into left center field. Joey, I think without a doubt, I don't believe it's debatable, is the best left-hand hitter in the major leagues right now. So Votto stands at second. And with 2 down, the batter will be Brandon Phillips, and out of the frying pan into the fire, because Brandon Phillips is not only a good, steady ball player, but he is wearing out the Dodgers. He was hitting .390 here at Dodger Stadium. For the year, Brandon hitting .283, 10 home runs, 47 runs batted in. So Phillips trying to pick up his man from second base, and the pitch to Brandon high, ball 1, 1-0. There are 32 members of the 30-30 club. Only 3 of them are second basemen. Alfonso Soriano, Brandon Phillips in '07, and this year Ian Kinsler of Texas. 2 other Reds with 30-30, Eric Davis and Barry Larkin. 1-0 pitch on the way is swung on and fouled away. 1-1 the count to Brandon Phillips. Phillips, with a very solid bat, has also won the National League Gold Glove Award 3 of the last 4 years. And last year, he was one of 6 voted to the All-Star game who won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger Award. So he's trying to pick up Joey Votto from second with 2 out. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Harang set, looks back at Votto. Now Aaron to the plate. Phillips holds up, and the pitch is off the plate. Aaron Harang has faced 1 man in the starting lineup for Cincinnati. That would be Ryan Ludwig. Ryan Ludwig has 3 home runs against him. 2-1 the count. Phillips waits. Harang ready. A look at Votto, and the 2-1 pitch. A little roller wide of third. On the move is Cruz to throw and gets him, and the inning is over. So Joey Votto doubles to left center. Phillips taps out at the end of half an inning. No score. Ball game. You know, we've had a lot of touching moments at Dodger Stadium. We just had one that really sticks with you, especially on Independence Day. We had a videotape of one of our heroes in Afghanistan talking on the Diamond Vision screen directly to his wife, who's here taking in the ball game. And boy, that really gets you more than all the martial music and all the waving of the flag. That was quite a moment. Meanwhile, bottom of the first inning, Don Mattingly will have Dee Gordon started off, and rather than rush you with the starting lineup, we'll take our time in between pitches. Gordon shows bunt, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. He'll be followed by Luis Cruz and then Bobby Abreu. They're the first 3. Mike Leake into the windup, and the strike 1 pitch off the plate, 1-1. Following Abreu comes James Loney, and then Adam Kennedy at second base. Scott Van Slyke is in right field. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Gordon takes ball 2. Following Van Slyke, you have Elian Herrera in center field. Matt Trainer is the catcher, and Aaron Harang the pitcher. The 2-1 pitch to Gordon is low and inside, ball 3, 3-1. Let's take a look at Mike Leake. First of all, he's had 7 no decisions, so that's why his record only 3-5. Among other things, he was saved 3 losses. He left the game losing, and then his club got him a win. And a drive by Gordon that bounces off the box seats in right field, and D. Gordon goes into second base standing with a double. He came so close to reaching the right field stand. So we gave it to you quickly. Here's a look at the Dodger lineup, and we'll repeat. Gordon, Cruz, and Abreu. Loney, Kennedy, and Van Slyke. Herrera, Trainer, and Harang. So a leadoff double by D. Gordon, and that'll bring up Cruz, Abreu, and Loney in that order. Luis Cruz 1 for 5 in his 2 games, picking up an RBI in each game. And time for the moment requested by Devin Mesoraco. So Cruz checks in at the plate. He has a double, 2 runs batted in. He had a sacrifice fly. Out of a stretch goes Leake. They're looking bunt are the Reds. Cruz, however, swings and bounces one over the head of the drawn-in Votto and down the line. Scoring is Gordon, and just like that, the Dodgers lead 1-0. Luis Cruz, the boy from Navajoa and Sonora, just bounced one over the head of the drawn-in Votto, and it went on down the line to pick up Gordon. So Gordon doubles to right, Cruz singles to right, and the Dodgers jump out in front 1-0. And the batter now, Bobby Abreu. Abreu hitting .255, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Cruz at first, Votto holding. Dodgers lead 1-0 in the first inning. The Giants already lost today in Washington, D.C. Abreu has a look at a strike. The Giants and Washington played an 11 game, 11 a.m. their time, so folks in San Francisco could watch it at 8 o'clock this morning. Well, they saw a loss, so the Dodgers now tied for first, trying to move back in. 0-1 the count to Abreu. Cruz off the bag, Votto holding, and the pitch fouled away. 0-2 the count. Dodgers with a double and a single draw first blood immediately against Mike Leake, as Gordon all smiles in the Dodger dugout, bringing in the run. Cruz taking his lead at first, held on by Votto. 0-2 the count to Abreu. Leake out of a stretch. Mike Reddy comes back to Abreu, low and inside, ball 1. As far as Cruz is concerned, he is not a base stealer. I think his high in the minor leagues, he stole 8, otherwise 3. And in checking in the major leagues, I think he has 1 stolen base, so he doesn't figure to do anything unless it's part of a play. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Abreu swings line drive into right center, base hit. Cruz on his way to third. Stubbs gets the ball back in, and the Dodgers now 3 straight hits with a run on and first and third. So Mike Leake is being pushed around. Gordon double to right. Cruz single to right. Now Abreu singles to right center, and the batter will be James Loney. James Loney hitting .243, 2 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Has had a great deal of success against the Reds in his career, hitting a little better than .350. Mesoraco reminding the infield to knock it down, but more than that, there's nobody out. So Loney checks in against a fellow who is known as a ground ball pitcher. And of course, that's brought to mind because Loney has grounded into 11 double plays. So we'll see. First and third, nobody out, a run in. Dodgers lead 1-0. Leak set, ready, deals, fastball grounded into right field, base hit. Scoring is Cruz. Abreu stops at second. 4 consecutive Dodger hits, and they lead 2-0. As Loney continues his solid hitting against Cincinnati. And now the batter will be Adam Kennedy, and hold everything, say the Reds. They're going to have a little chat at the mound as Brian Price goes out to do a little talking. Two runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers with Gordon's double and then singles by Cruz, Abreu, and Loney. And Mike Leake is in trouble out there. We told you that he's had 7 no decisions. He also was saved in 3 possible losses. Left-hand hitters have hit 9 home runs against him. He has also allowed 8 home runs at home. We tell you he's a ground ball pitcher, but you'd never know it right now. He's like 1.5 ground balls for every ball hit in the air. So for Dusty Baker, a shaky way to begin. And here's Kennedy, 2 on, nobody out, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. The pitch to Adam Kennedy is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Adam hitting .228. One ball and no strikes. Abreu and Loney taking their leads. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on, and a fly ball down the right field line. A trio of Reds in pursuit, but it's going to go back into the stands out of play. Jay Bruce was close, but couldn't get to it. 1-1 to Adam Kennedy. Adam having a look at Tim Wallach for the moment, with Abreu and Loney out on the lines. Leake, who's from nearby Fallbrook, he's 6'1", 180, a first-round pick out of Arizona State. Boy, was he ever the busy kid when he was in high school. Leake ready now, and the 1-1 pitch, high, ball 2. Mike Leake not only played baseball in high school. For 2 years he was the center midfield on the soccer team. He was point guard on the basketball team. He punted, kicked, and played defensive back on the football team. And he finally graduated and went to Arizona State. 2-1 pitch on the way. Kennedy fouls it back, and the count 2-2. So Mike Leake, who grew up in Fallbrook, and his favorite players were Vladimir Guerrero and Nolan Ryan, signed with the Reds, first-round pick for a big bonus. At Arizona State, he was 16-1. One reason, I'm sure, why they signed him. Right-hander out of a stretch. He's 25 years old, and the pitch is a little low, though he goes all the way to Kennedy. So Adam with a full count, and in looking at Kennedy's numbers as Scott Van Slyke waits on deck. Kennedy has struck out 24 times. He has grounded into 3 double plays. So we'll see what that means. 3-2 and nobody out. Runners ready. They're not going. Kennedy, it's a ground ball to Votto. He's down to his shortstop, Kozar. A wide throw to first to Leake. Gets away. Scoring easily as the Dodgers pick up another run. And Bobby Abreu brings it in. Grinding up at second base is Adam Kennedy. So it was a ground ball to Joey Votto. He got the ball down to Kozar. Kozar trying to get it back to Leake, but he threw behind his pitcher. So it's been a very bad inning already. It'll be a force play for Kennedy. Abreu goes to third on the force play, scores on the error, which is charged to Kozar. Because that's a very tough play. even just for a first baseman feeding his pitcher, but for a shortstop trying to hit his pitcher on the move, that's especially tough. And the Dodgers now lead 3-0. And here's Van Slyke taking low and away. Ball 1. 1-0. So Gordon, Cruz, and Abreu all bring in the runs on the error charge to Zach Cozart. Van Slyke hitting 186 with a home run and 6 runs batted in, and he fouls one back. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one to Scott Van Slyke, trying to join the party. If you joined us late, Gordon doubled to right, Cruz singled him home, Abreu singled Cruz to third, Loney scored Cruz, and then on the error by Cozart, that brought in Abreu. 1 out, and the 1-1 pitch on the outside corner at the knees. 1-2 the count. Mike Leake out there on the mound went straight to the major leagues. If you go back to when the draft started in 1965, only 21 players have reached the majors without appearing in a minor league game. He works it away, and Mike Lee is the latest. Other notables, well, Bert Hooton, Dave Winfield, David Clyde, Bob Horner, Jim Abbott, John Olerud, Darren Dreifert, and Mike Leake. 2-2 the count to Scott Van Slyke. 1 out. Adam Kennedy at second base. Van Slyke swings and doesn't get it, and down he goes. So that's the second out, and it will bring up Elian Herrera.
Center fielder, number 37, Elian Herrera.
Elian Herrera, the man who can play almost anywhere on the field and has, is in center field tonight, hitting .250, 15 runs batted in. Had a good night last night, came off the bench hitting for Chris Capuano and was 2 for 2 and scored a run in the 6th inning. The run he scored in the 6th tied up the game. So Herrera, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Kennedy a good lead at second, and Herrera has a look at a strike, and the count 0-1. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 error for the Reds. Leake out of a stretch. Another look back at Adam Kennedy, and the pitch is high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leake does not make too many pitches. They've broken it down. Hitters have about 3.5 pitches when they face him, and they love to swing at the first pitch. Something like 66% of his first pitches have been swung at. The 1-1 pitch inside, and it hits Herrera, and he'll go to first. So Elian Herrera is nicked on a fastball that got him as he turned. Got him on the right side, just under the shoulder. So Leake is now facing his 8th hitter in the first inning. He has made 25 pitches, and Matt Trainer will check in against him. For Leake, that would only be the 2nd batter he's hit this year. So Matt hitting .250, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Trainer waits, Leake delivers, low and away, ball 1, 1-0. Dodgers lead 3-0 in the first inning. The Leake has allowed 4 hits plus a damaging error by his shortstop. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike. 1-1 the count to Matt Trainer. For A.J. Ellis, a chance to rest. A.J. 0 for 8 in the series, had struck out 4 times. So it was time to give him a breather. And here's Matt. And Ellis, alongside of Clayton Kershaw, can enjoy the fun. The 1-1 pitch is taken inside. Ball 2, 2-1. It's good to see Mark Ellis in uniform, activated, and might very well play tomorrow. You know, the Dodgers fly over to Arizona when this game is over. Mark with his left arm draped over the railing. Taking a look at the action, and the pitch in for a strike to Trainer. So deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 3 in the bank. And Leake is leaking pitches. He's made 29 pitches in the first inning. Mike checking with Mesoraco. Now the young right-hander set. And the 2-2 pitch, fastball grounded to the hole. Nice gobble, bobble, and then throw in time for Kozar. Yeah, he gobbled and bobbled and got him. And the Dodgers wind up with 3 runs and 4 hits. And at the end of an inning, lead 3-0. Has been the top 2 hitters starting off a game, and tonight the top 2 hitters, D. Gordon doubled, and then Cruz singled, and before you knew it, Leake was up to his hips in trouble. Then Abreu singled, then Loney singled, and the Dodgers put 3 on the board. So in the second inning, it'll be Jay Bruce, Ryan Ludwig, and then Todd Frazier in that order. And for Aaron Harang, at the 5 and Park level, he has a chance at a win as Bruce checks in, hitting .259. The All-Star outfielder, 17 home runs, 54 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 last night, but he had 2 hits in the first game. Harang ready and works a fastball high, ball 1, 1-0. Padres and D-backs are just about ready to start. 6:40, that'll be a minute from now. The 1-0 pitch on the way is high, ball 2. That'll be Jason Marquis and Ian Kennedy. Padres are really surprising the D-backs. They've won 4 straight, and the Diamondbacks have lost 4 straight. The next pitch is swung on and hit foul down the right field line. 2-1. For San Diego, they're going for its first ever sweep in Arizona. And of course, from one year to another, it's amazing how things change. Ian Kennedy, a 21-game winner last year, is 6-7 this year as Bruce swings, doesn't get it, and takes a little walk away to collect himself. On deck, Ryan Ludwig and then Todd Frazier. Ludwig spells trouble for Harang. Meanwhile, the 2-2 pitch to Bruce is taken. Strike 3 call on the outside corner. So Jay Bruce is caught looking, and we have 1 out in the second. And the batter will be Ryan Ludwig. Certainly Aaron Harang recognizes Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig has hit 3 home runs against him. Ryan also batting .424 against Aaron Harang. So Ludwig backs out for the moment. now checks in, and we're about ready. 3-0 Dodgers. 1 out, second inning. Harang delivers, and the first pitch is low. Ball 1. 1-0 to Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig had a stretch of hitting 5 home runs in 5 consecutive games, but this time he grounds out the third. He had that stretch of home runs when he was with the Cardinals. So 2 down in the second inning, and Todd Frazier, the third baseman, coming up. Driving in, listening to the radio, they were talking about the annual hot dog feast in Coney Island, the famous Nathan's hot dog back there. How many hot dogs and buns can you eat in a 10-minute period? I believe I heard correctly, the woman who won it ate 45 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. 1 ball and no strikes to Frazier. The man who won it, now imagine hot dogs and buns, he ate 68 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. The pitch in for a strike to Frazier, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count. I mean, even Dodger dogs would not go that easily. There's a high pop fly back to second base. Waiting is Kennedy. Adam makes the catch. So a very easy inning for Aaron Harang. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers 3. Reds nothing. Bottom of the second inning, Aaron Harang followed by D. Gordon and then Luis Cruz, and Harang waiting for Tim Wallach to get into the coaching box. So Harang to start it off. Mike Leake ready and deals and gets a strike. We told you the first 2 hitters are hitting over 400 against Mike Leake. Leadoff hitters are batting .337, so he really had trouble with the top 2 hitters and then whoever leads off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Shouldn't have that kind of trouble with Harang. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. 1-2. Harang hitting .071. So Mike Leake trying to put him away. The 1-2 pitch on the way is waved at and missed. So down goes Harang. 1 out in the second inning, and the batter will be D. Gordon. You know, a reminder, Sunday, July 15th, Dodgers and Padres at 1:10, and fans with the first 30,000 tickets will receive a drawstring bag, compliments of MLB Network. 2 strikeouts for Mike Leake. D. Gordon opened up the ball game. and double to right field. D hitting .231. Leak ready, deals, and the first pitch a little low. Ball one. 1-0 the count. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Full swing. A bouncer one-handed by Votto going to the bag. Joey was up wide of the bag looking bunt, and he actually caught up to the ground ball, took a swipe and came up with it and stepped on the bag. Good play by the first baseman. Otherwise, that's down the line. So they get Gordon, and we have 2 down in the second inning, and the batter will be Luis Cruz. Cruz singled to right in the first inning, so he's now at an RBI in each of his 3 games with the Dodgers. He takes off the plate, ball one. Luis impressed in spring training. Oh, he was lost in the shuffle, but anytime you saw him, especially in the early going, he did very well. This time he promptly bangs one to left field. Ludwig coming up, can't make the play. It's off his glove, and Cruz into second base. I don't know whether Ryan Ludwig had trouble in that ball coming off the bat. When you're in left field this time, you're looking into the sunlit grandstands between home and first. He had a pretty good jump and then had to go down to get it. Tried to make a 2-handed catch and couldn't hold on to it. They're going to give Cruz a double, although in all honesty the ball hit him right in the glove. However, though a double to left, Cruz will take it. He's 2 for 2. And the batter now, Bobby Abreu. 3-0 Dodgers, bottom of the second inning. Out of his stretch goes Leak, looks at second, works his hitter, and gets a strike. 0-1. Mike, when he began his career, fresh out of school last year, he started his career 6 wins and no losses. He wound up the year 12-9. Struggling this year, 3-5. Mike ready in his strike one pitch. Abreu pulls away, and a 1-ball 1-strike count to Bob, who singled to right in the first inning and then eventually came around to score. Dodgers with a parade of players in left field, including Abreu, 1 of 8. Cruz waiting to be picked up with 2 out at second base. Leak out of a stretch, and his 1-1 pitch on the way. Comebacker. Leak has it. Plenty of time, takes dead aim at Votto and flips over for the out. So no runs, 1 hit, a man left at second at the end of 2, 3-0 Dodgers. 3-0, and now the Reds trying to get back in the ball game. And Devin Mesoraco, the catcher, who had a double and a single and 3 RBIs in game 1, will start it off. Harang's first pitch, fastball high, ball 1, 1-0. Last night, Ryan Hannigan was behind the plate, and he was 0 for 4. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Mesoraco holds up. It's up around the chin. 1-1 the count. Aaron Harang fares much better at home than on the road. There's a good 1-run difference in his earned run average. The 2-0 pitch on the way in for a strike. ERA at home is 3, on the road is 4. There's about a 71-point difference in opponent's batting average. 221 home, 292 on the road. The pitch high to Mesoraco. So Harang goes 3-1, opening up matters here in the 3rd inning. Mesoraco is from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Right-hand batter. The 3-1 pitch is down the pipe, 3-2. Devin Mesoraco, out of high school, had a choice: accept a scholarship to the University of Virginia or play ball, and he went to ball. Adam Kennedy fields a ground ball, and as he turns to throw to first base, the ball just flies out of his hands. So Mesoraco is aboard on the error. So Kennedy had it hit the heel of his glove, then he lost sight of it. Looked like he was going to make the play. So the error reaches Mesoraco to get to first base. And the batter now will be Mike Leake, who, by the way, is a good hitting pitcher. Leake, as he walks up to the plate with the bat, is hitting .357. He has 2 home runs, 2 runs batted in. He has a double, and he has struck out a little less than 20% of the time. He shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and the pitch in for a strike. Leake has 3 sacrifices. 0-1 the count. Mesoraco at first, held on by Loney. Nobody out. 3rd inning, 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Harang turns, throws to first, and Mesoraco back. Mesoraco has 1 stolen base. He's been caught once. They had the bunt on for Leake. We'll see what he does now. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 1 hit for the Reds. A full swing and a miss. The Leake is up there 0-2. Being that good a hitter, he has struck out 8 times, and he's had about 32 plate appearances, so he strikes out 25%. Last year and the last couple of years, he's shown he can hit. He tries to bunt, fouls it off, and he's done. So Leake strikes out. That would be the 2nd strikeout for Aaron Harang. And with 1 out, the batter will be Zach Cozart.
Shortstop number 2, Zach Cozart.
Cozart flied to right in the 1st inning. He likes to go the other way. They noticed that in the 1st game. He singled twice to right field against Billingsley. Later on, he grounded to 2nd base against Lindblom. Last night, he flied to right. So we'll see what they do with him this time as he takes a strike. 0-1. Well, we told you about the Padres trying to sweep Arizona for the first time ever. San Diego has won 4 in a row. D-backs have lost 4 in a row. And the Padres have jumped out to lead 1-0 in the 1st inning. Strike 1 pitch is a pop fly, shallow left, coming up in a hurry is Abreu. Can't make the play. Stopping at 2nd base is Mesoraco. So Bobby Abreu, late in arriving, went into a slide but couldn't glove it. It looked like Bobby had the jump just like Ludwig, but he couldn't catch up and hold it. So it's got to be a little difficult out there at this stage. Cozart will be given a base hit, and all of a sudden an error, a base hit, and the Reds have the tying run at the plate in Drew Stubbs. So Stubbs, who is 0 for 25, and you talk about being hungry, all of those offers on the road trip, which is, if you're going to have a string of offers, you might as well have it on the road, so you're not at home where you really hear about it. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch to Stubbs is taken for a strike, and the count 0-1. Stubbs followed by Joey Votto. And the first thing you wonder about Stubbs, does he hit into double plays? The answer is no. He has only grounded into 1 double play. The strike 1 pitch on the way to Drew, and he takes it low and away. Of course, to be honest, the one reason, I guess, why Stubbs doesn't ground into a lot of double plays is the fact that he strikes out so much. He struck out 205 times last year. 1-1. Harang checking, ready, comes to his hitter, swung on and missed. 1-2. 1 out in the third. 3-0 Dodgers. The big strikeout people, of course, Mark Reynolds when he was with Arizona, and he's moved on to the American League with Baltimore. And then there is Drew Stubbs. 1-2 pitch, swung on, big bounce it short. They will get one. The turn is not in time. Stubbs with a great burst of speed at the last moment, so you can understand why he's grounded into only 1. So he hits into the force play, and that means Joey Votto is coming up, and that always spells trouble. So Joey Votto, who doubled with 2 out in the first inning. Joey Votto has 34 doubles. If he repeats that figure in the second half, he would set a record for doubles, an all-time record in one season. He's up there first and third. Left-hand batter, 1 for 1, hitting .354. Harang at the belt delivers, and Joey takes a strike. The all-time record for doubles in one season, Earl Webb of the 1931 Boston Red Sox. Well, Joey has 34 now, so if he doubles that, he will set the record. As we mentioned earlier, I don't think much of a dispute. He's the best left-hand hitter in the major leagues. 0-1 to Joey. Harang throws to first. Stubbs diving back to the bag. Stubbs is the one man who does a lot of running. He has stolen 16 out of 20. The Reds are not a running club. Mesoraco down the line from third. 0-1 to Votto. The strike 1 pitch on the way is taken low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joey Votto had laser eye surgery in 2008 and really became a sensational hitter thereafter. An all-star this year. All he did was hit .392 in June this year. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Joey Votto. Swung on, fly ball playable. Going back and turning to his right and picking it off is Elian Herrera on the track. So no runs, a hit, an error, 2 left, and at the end of 2.5, 3-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the third inning, we can tell you that Jason Kubel answered with a 3-run home run for Arizona, and the Diamondbacks are leading the Padres in the first inning 3-1. Meanwhile, Mike Leake will be working on James Loney, who singled to right field to drive in a run in the first inning. So James checking in. He'll be followed by Kennedy and Van Slyke. Leake into his windup, right-handed delivers and drops it in for a strike. Talking about San Diego, they've lost their young right-hander Andrew Kashner. He strained a lat muscle, and he'll go on the 15-day DL. He's the fellow who throws BBs, and the other night when he was pitching, he was clocked at 101 on the radar gun over in Arizona. The 1-1 pitch on the way is a ground ball to the hole. Plugging it up is Brandon Phillips. Gets it to Votto in time. Nice play by the veteran second baseman. And we have one out. You know the story, don't you, about Brandon Phillips? It started a couple of years ago when he was quoted in a tough pennant race that he hated the Cardinals. Came into St. Louis, and like ball players do, he took his bat and he tapped the shin guard of Yadier Molina, the catcher. Well, the next thing you know, there was a brawl. Here's the pitch blowing inside to Kennedy, ball one. During the brawl, not that Phillips got so much into it, but Johnny Cueto was accused of accidentally or otherwise kicking Jason LaRue of the Cardinals in the head while they were all on the ground. The 1-0 pitch foul back. So, okay, from that moment on, bad feeling between the Reds and the Cardinals. Tony La Russa and Dusty Baker, not to mention Brandon Phillips and Molina and Johnny Cueto and Jason LaRue. Well, now Tony La Russa is the National League manager for the All-Star game. 1-1 pitch is low, ball two, and Tony, much to the displeasure of Cincinnati, did not pick Brandon Phillips, who's having a big year, to play second, and he did not pitch Johnny Cueto, who's won 9 games. That's a strike in there to Kennedy, and that makes it 2-2. Well, naturally, the Reds say, oh, great. La Russa's just picking favorites. He's angry at us because of the incident, and so the Reds are angry. And La Russa made 1 point, 2-2 pitch inside ball 3. He said, wait a minute, Johnny Cueto is going to pitch on Sunday. He wouldn't be able to pitch in the All-Star game anyway. Don't blame me, blame Baker. Well, the feud continues. Tony La Russa, as you know, is retired. Meanwhile, a line drive, base hit into deep right center. Cutting it off is Jay Bruce and holding Kennedy to a long single. So Adam Kennedy, a single to right center, could easily have been a double. Jay Bruce, an all-star outfielder, made a fine play. Boy, that ball went a long way, especially with a left-hand hitter who has the extra steps to first base. So another nice play by the Cincinnati right fielder. Scott Van Slyke struck out in the first inning. Dodgers have 6 hits against Mike Leake to go with their 3 runs. Right-hander throws to first. Kennedy jumps back on the bag. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits for the Reds. Each side making an error, Kennedy and Cozart. With Kennedy going, the pitch is low. The throw is there for his arrival. So Brandon Phillips just put the ball right on him. Perfect throw by Mesoraco. Meanwhile, Van Slyke just took at the plate. And they throw right in the glove of Phillips. So an easy play, 2-4. Actually, when you look at it there, you see Phillips, number 1, didn't really tag him. Comebacker and Leake makes the play, and that's the inning. So actually, the Reds got a pretty good break on that Kennedy play, and Adam realizes it. But at the end of 3, it's 3-0 Dodgers.
Look forward to Miller time later.
Leading off the fourth inning for the Reds, second baseman, number 4, Brandon Phillips.
Dodgers with 3 first-inning runs lead the Reds 3-0 as we go to the fourth. Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce, and Ryan Ludwig against Aaron Harang. One of the reasons that the Reds feel that Brandon Phillips should have been an all-star, he leads all National League second basemen in runs batted in. Of course, all he had to do is watch him play here. He's hitting .388 in his career at Dodger Stadium. He's an all-star every time we've ever seen him. And pops up the first pitch, back a third. Cruz is there. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Coming to the plate, right fielder.
You know, you can become a member of the Dodgers season ticket holder family today. You'll receive full 2012 postseason rights. Ensure your seat for the first ever Sandy Koufax bobblehead night presented by Time Warner Cable. Tickets start at $9, so for more information, visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. Jay Bruce, who has sparkled defensively in right field, struck out in the second inning. This time he hits one in the air to right center. It's playable and will be the center fielder Herrera. So with a minimum number of pitches, Harang has 2 out here in the fourth, and the batter is Ryan Ludwig. Ryan Ludwig has 3 home runs in the past against Aaron Harang. Ludwig with 11 home runs, 5 against left-hand pitching. He had some big games in big years for the Cardinals. First ball swinging. Loney in pursuit of the foul ball. Can't get it. 0-1 the count. Ryan Ludwig's older brother Eric was a major league pitcher for the Marlins. Ryan in great shape. He has maybe 5-6% body fat. I remember Ron Say had something like 5% body fat. 0-1. And another ball skied. And it will be Trainer making the catch. So that didn't take very long for Aaron Harang to get Phillips, Bruce, and Ludwig. And at the end of 3.5, 3-0 Dodgers. Wireless receiver from AT&T UVerse. Visit AT&T.com/free your TV. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. And by the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer. Bottom of the fourth inning, 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Elian Herrera, playing center field, takes a strike. 0-1. Herrera hit by a pitch in the first inning, batting .250. Has played almost everywhere. Second, short, third, left, center, right. Hits a ground ball to Phillips. He bobbles, recovers, throws, got him. So Brandon Phillips stays with it. That's the pleasure of being a second baseman. So one away, and the batter, Matt Trainer. Yeah, you're looking at gold gloves over there when you're looking at Brandon Phillips. So Herrera nipped one down. Top of the fourth inning was a pitcher's dream for Aaron Harang. He retired Messrs. Phillips, Bruce, and Ludwig on 5 pitches. Fastball, strike. Leake had a lot of trouble, perhaps just getting loose, and he made 30 pitches in the first inning, giving up 3 runs and 4 hits. 0-1 to Matt. Fouled away off to the right upstairs. 0-2 to Matt Trainer, hitting .245. 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Dodgers leave town immediately after the game. They'll be over in Arizona for 4. That's on the inside corner, and down goes Trainer. 2 out. Dodgers will finish up in Arizona on Sunday. Then you have the 4 days, the All-Star break. And then on Friday, the 13th of July, San Diego comes in to spend the weekend with us, followed by the Philadelphia Phillies. And Chase Utley is now back. Strike to Harang. 2 out, 4th inning, 3-0 Dodgers. Did all their damage in the first inning. Ground ball to third. Frazier's on it. So that's a quick inning. Dodgers go just as quickly as the Reds. And at the end of 4, 3-0 Dodgers. As popular as Fernando was, another very popular Dodger in his day was the one who grounded into the inning-ending double play to give Fernando the no-hitter. The name of the batter, Pedro Guerrero. We go to the 5th inning, 3-0 Dodgers. It will be Frazier, Mesoraco, and then Leak. By the way, in San Bernardino, they tell me that Matt Kemp started the game in center field tonight. He grounded out in the first inning. So Rancho Cucamonga nothing, Inland Empire nothing, bottom of the first inning. You remember the old Jack Benny radio show, the radio show? And a great voice in radio, Mel Blanc. And among the things Blanc would do, and I can remember in New York listening to the radio, and Mel Blanc would be the railroad announcer, and he would say, trains leaving for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga. And I used to think there can't be such a place. Well, Matt Kemp's there. And we're in the fifth inning with Todd Frazier. Ball one. Frazier hitting .271. He has 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in. All the reports, he's a very, not happy-go-lucky guy, just a very happy guy. 2-0 the count. And wouldn't you know, he's a pleasant fella, and he's from Point Pleasant, New Jersey, out of Rutgers University. 2-0. For Todd Frazier, he had the thrill of a lifetime long before he got to the big leagues. He was 12 years old when he was named the outstanding player in the 1998 Little League World Series. Tom's River defeated Japan for the world title. He struck out the last hitter, and he was a hero. And when the kids got back to Tom's River, they were treated like heroes. There was a big parade, nonstop interviews. He will certainly never forget that. 3-2 to Todd. 6'3", 215-pounder, 26 years old. His older brother Jeff was an All-American outfielder, drafted by the Tigers. He has another brother, Charles, who spent 6 years in the Marlins organization. Three and two. And this time down he goes. The Frazier strikes out. That's 6 in a row for Aaron Harang since Cozart had the base hit, the fly ball to left field that Abreu couldn't handle. 3 strikeouts for Aaron Harang. Mesoraco reached on the error charge to Adam Kennedy. Off the plate, ball one. Mesoraco, we haven't seen him play a lot, but the little bit we saw of him, he has a very strong arm. This time, he unloads down the left field line way back, and he'll touch them all. Boy, that thing was hit hard. So Mesoraco hits his 5th home run, and that gets the Reds on the board. Dodgers 3, Reds 1. He got a fastball up, and being a big boy, he knew what to do with it. For the Reds, they now have 89 home runs. The fan who got the ball throws it back out on the field. 89 home runs. The Dodgers have 46. Of course, they play in the Great American Ballpark, and that is home run haven. There's been a home run hit in Great American Ballpark 65 consecutive games. A strike to Leak. So 3 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 3 hits for the Reds. For Aaron Harang, the 8th home run he's allowed this year. 0-1. In there. Leak, a good hitting pitcher, struck out in the 3rd inning, tried to bunt one, swung away, missed, Tried to bunt a third time and fouled it off to strike out. Ball one. That fourth inning was something. Aaron Harang made 5 pitches to retire the side. Leake came back, got him out on 7 pitches. Fouled away. 1-2 the count to Mike Leake. Leake, among other things, has wasted a couple of games this year. He's actually made 4 starts where the Reds scored 6 runs or more, and he has no decisions in those games. Well, we have 2 out, and let's get you thinking a little bit. The Reds franchise began in 1882. Which 2 current franchises were established even earlier than that? Ball one to Zach Cozart. You know, the Reds and the Dodgers, since 1900, they played over 2,000 games right up to date. The Dodgers have won 38 more games than the Reds since 1900. Ground ball to third. Cruz just makes it look easy. So Harang gives up a run on the home run by Dervin Mesoraco, and it's 3-1 Dodgers.
Enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
Devin Mesoraco hits the home run, and for Mesoraco, his 5th home run to get the Reds on the board. Dodger lead is 3-1. So the young catcher handling Mike Leake. D. Gordon has double grounded out, and the count 0-2. If you missed it, the earlier announcements, Todd Coffey unfortunately hurt his elbow and will have to have Tommy John surgery. Foul ball down the line, 0-2, and upstairs. Dodgers put Andre Ethier on the DL, but it's retroactive to June 28th, so he could be ready sometime shortly after the All-Star break. Foul ball the other way. Mark Ellis has been activated. Mark is in uniform. He's in the dugout. They hope to just rest him today, but he will certainly be ready to play during the Arizona series. 0-2. So Gordon goes down, and we have one out here in the fifth. 4 strikeouts for Mike Leake, and the batter will be Luis Cruz. One thing about the Reds, and it certainly has been their strength, they're a very good defensive club, and their bullpen, #1 in earned run average and opposition batting. The Cincinnati bullpen collectively has an earned run average of a little more than 2.5, and the opposition is hitting only .212 against their pen. Meanwhile, 2-0 the count now to Luis Cruz, who has singled and doubled. 2 for 2. Little nubber back to the box. 2 down here in the 5th inning. Well, we were talking about the age of a franchise. The Reds began in 1882. Which 2 current franchises were established earlier? Well, the Braves in 1876 and the Cubs in 1876. By 1884, all 8 original National League teams had been established. The originals were the Braves, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and the Reds, the Phillies, the Pirates, the Giants, and the Cardinals. Right. Bobby Abreu singled to right and hit back to the box, scored a run. In there at the knees, 0-2 the count. One and 2 the count to Bobby Abreu. Waiting on deck, hitting back of Abreu, James Loney. 3-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Bottom of the 5th. Ground ball to the hole, plugging it up is Kozar. Plenty of time to crank it up, and he almost threw it too high. So the Dodgers go down. 7 in a row retired by Leake. It's still 3-1 Dodgers. In 1959, Don Zimmer just couldn't stand the pain anymore. He had a bad toe. They had cut a hole in the shoe so he could play, but the toe was killing him. So the Dodgers called up a young switch hitter from the minor leagues to take over at short by the name of Maury Wills. And the Dodgers went on to win the 1959 World Series. They went on, for instance, for Wills to steal 104 bases and be the MVP in 1962. One man's tough break is another's big break. Let's go back to this one. Three to 1 in favor of the Dodgers. And Drew Stubbs 0 for 26. Ball one. Drew hitting .216, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs. No swing, says Tim Tashita. 2-0. Reds are 7-5 against the Western Division, and the Dodgers are 13-11 against the Central. 2 balls, no strikes. And a high fly ball to right. It's playable. Van Slyke. So Drew Stubbs really struggling, 1 away. Say, don't forget Tuesday the 17th, 7:10, Dodgers and Phillies. First 30,000 tickets receive their own beach chair, compliments of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Joey Votto hitting .353, 14 home runs, 47 runs batted in. That's right. Joey doubled to left center and flied to center. 1 for 2. Votto will be 29 in September. 1-1 to Joey. The MVP 2 years ago. He's hit as many as 37 home runs. And he hits that foul the other way. The year that he had 37 home runs, 2 years ago, he was the MVP. He also had 113 runs batted in. 1-2 to Joey Votto from Toronto. And drives it to the gap in left center. It's slicing, and it's going to be caught as Abreu moved over. And racing on by was Herrera. Votto flies to Abreu, 2 down. Ball just kept slicing away from Herrera. Abreu on the run and put it away. So now Brandon Phillips. Abreu at 38 still having a lot of fun playing the game. Brandon Phillips has grounded to third, popped up to third. Dodgers trying to catch a game where he doesn't wear them out. He was hitting .388 here at Dodger Stadium when he popped up. Ground ball to Kennedy. Boy, what a quick inning. Remember the 4th inning, Harang made only 5 pitches. And at the end of 5.5, it's still 3-1 Dodgers. in total pitches, but the one big difference was the first inning when Mike Leake made 30 pitches and gave up 3 runs and 4 hits. Both pitchers with excellent control, and each pitcher has had a couple of easy innings. For instance, Leake had a 7-pitch inning. He's had 2 11s and 1 12. So outside of that big bump in the road in the first inning, he's pitched very well. Loney, a foul ball, 0-1. Aaron Harang has had a 5-pitch inning, an 8-pitch inning. So they've really been on their games. Loney singled to right, grounded out. James 1 for 2, hitting .246. The big thing for James, he's been on the upswing. Hard ground ball. Wow. Votto again and gets it to Leake. Joey Votto has made a couple of dandy plays back at first, that time taking an extra base hit away. He catches up to a ball that's going by him. Then he has to turn. Loney's hustling down the line. Joey has to hit his pitcher on the run. Almost threw it away, but they get Loney. So a fine play by Joey Votto, the Gold Glove. 1 away. A strike to Adam Kennedy. We're talking to Marty Brenneman. Marty's an old pal. He's been broadcasting the Cincinnati games for 39 years. And he said the #1 player wearing a Cincinnati uniform in the 39 years, you're looking at him, Joey Votto. I said, how about Pete Rose? He said, not Rose, because Rose would waste some at bats. Not Votto. 1-2. In fact, the only thing you hear about Votto is what a solid young man he is. Not just talking about his baseball ability. I mean, they love him, and rightfully so. Half swing, Adam, down he goes. So Leake now has retired 8 in a row. In fact, he started with Van Slyke, so he's retired 9 in a row. That would be his 5th strikeout. So he's totally different from the pitcher who labored in the first inning. Van Slyke struck out, hit back to the box, 0 for 2. Fastball strike. Over in Arizona, Yonder Alonso doubled in a run for San Diego. So the D-backs lead over San Diego is 3-2 in the 3rd. Pirates won. That means Cincinnati fell to 2nd, a half a game out. Giants lost, so the Dodgers took the field tied for 1st. 1-2 to Scott Van Slyke. Aaron Harang has turned in a fine performance. 74 pitches through 6 innings. He's leading 3-1. The only run was that home run by Mesoraco. High fly ball to shallow right. Going out is Phillips. That'll be that. So that's 10 in a row retired by Mike Leake, but the Dodgers still lead thanks to the first inning, 3-1. You can see Cozart had a base hit, but that came with 2 out in the 3rd inning. Joey Votto had a double, but that came with 2 out in the 1st inning. And then there was Mesoraca's home run with 1 out in the 5th. So Harang has made 74 pitches as he goes to work in the 7th, leading 3-1. Ball 1 to Jay Bruce. Right fielder has struck out and flied to center. The Reds will bust down to San Diego after tonight's game, and they'll be playing the Padres 4, while the Dodgers are over in Arizona. And then the Dodgers have the All-Star break and will meet San Diego here starting on Friday the 13th. 2-1. They don't totally commit on Jay Bruce. Gordon way over to his left, but he's still on the shortstop side of the bag. Outfield very deep to right. 2-1. Ball 3. Harang and Leake have each had excellent control. No walks. Leake did hit Herrera. And now Aaron on the edge, 3-1. And there's ball 4. So a leadoff walk. And that will bring up Ludwig. You know, All-Star voting isn't over yet. Nope, you can vote for the final player for each league roster until tomorrow at 1 p.m. So go to Dodgers.com, cast your All-Star game final vote for the final 2 All-Stars for the game in Kansas City. Ryan Ludwig is grounded to third and popped up. He has 3 home runs and 14 hits against Harang in the past. Foul back, 0-1. Ludwig, we mentioned, had that stretch of 5 straight games where he hit a home run in each game. That was back in 2008 for the Cardinals. That was his finest year. 37 home runs and 113 RBIs. Slapped down the line, foul. 0-2. Ludwig from Satellite Beach in Florida makes his home over in Las Vegas. Went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He's the one who told his 4th grade teacher that his dream was to become a Major League Baseball player. And the teacher said, "You need to get a real dream." Well, he's living the dream. With Bruce at first, nobody out. Harang has to worry really about only one man stealing bases. That's Drew Stubbs, who has stolen 16 out of 20. Bruce is 4 for 4. 0-2 to Ludwig. Got him. Fastball, down he goes. So Ludwig goes 0 for 3 against a fella he had owned prior to tonight. High fastball, and he tried to uppercut it. So 1 out. Five strikeouts for Aaron Harang. Frazier has popped up and struck out. 1 out in the 7th. 3-1 Dodgers. High pop down the right field line, cruising over his Van Slyke. And holding at first is Jay Bruce. So that'll bring up Devin Mesoraco, who hit the home run in the 5th inning. Fastball up above the belt, out over the plate, and he just drove it deep in the lower deck. So he's had 4 RBIs in the 2 games in which he has played against the Dodgers. Not known certainly for his hitting. He's batting only .214. Mesoraco from Pennsylvania, was a big Pirates fan as a kid. He modeled his game after the Pirate catcher Jason Kendall. But of course, when you put on the Cincinnati gear and you're a catcher, they only think of one player, Johnny Bench. Pops that up, Adam Kennedy. So Harang gives up a walk, and then gets 3 quick outs. And it's still 3-1 Dodgers. Friends in special recognition of the military, USAA now presents the singing of God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Accompanied by Nancy B., please welcome back Billy Ray Cyrus.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Half a dozen base hits, and remember, 4 of them came electrifyingly so in the very first inning when Gordon doubled, and then Cruz, Abreu, and Loney all singled for 3, and they've so far made the 3 stand up. So now here come the Dodgers, and Herrera gets it back to Leake. Boy, Leake really fired that ball. I guess he just pumped up. Votto dropped it after the out was recorded. 1 away. Here's Matt Trainer, grounded out, struck out. We don't keep track of it, but boy, these hitters are going after the first pitch. It's like they're all double parked. Tony Gwynn comes out on deck to bat for Harang. Ronald Belisario is throwing in the pen. There you go again. First pitch swing by Trainer. They certainly can't be in a hurry. They're not going home. The Dodgers go to Arizona. and the Reds get on a bus and go to San Diego. Talking about San Diego, they've just tied up the Diamondbacks 3-3 in the 4th inning. Little chopper to third. Nice pick there by Frazier. And we have 2 out. So Leake apparently had troubles in the 1st inning, but he has really settled down since. He has retired 12 in a row, and Aaron Harang will now come out. Tony Gwynn called away for the moment. He'll get a little info on Mike Leake. Harang made 10 pitches in the 7th inning. So for Aaron, a total of 84 pitches and a chance to pick up his 6th victory. He was brilliant. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. So a fine performance by Harang, who was consistent from the 1st inning. Mike Leake has been consistent since the 2nd inning, and that 1st inning might very well cost him. He's due to bat first when the Reds hit in the 8th inning. How things are going for Arizona? Well, the Padres tied it up when their pitcher, Jason Marquez, doubled in the tying run. 0-1 to Gwynn. Tony hitting .249, 17 runs batted in, and a fly ball to right. Jay Bruce is right there. So these guys just aren't hanging around at all. That's a 5-pitch inning. Amazing. And at the end of 7, it's still 3-1 Dodgers. Aaron Harang went a strong 7 innings, 84 pitches, picked up his first strikeout on Jay Bruce. He got the pitcher Mike Leake trying to bunt for a strikeout. Todd Frazier bit the dust. So did Leake a second time. And for good measure, Ryan Ludwig. So 5 strikeouts for Aaron Harang, 84 pitches. He allowed 1 run, just 3 hits. The Dodgers rearranged the furniture in the outfield. Van Slyke moving to left field. Tony Gwynn, who batted for Harang, is in center. And Elian Herrera moves from center to right. Ronald Belisario becomes the pitcher. So if you're keeping score, Gwynn stays in the number 9 spot. And Ronald Belisario would bat in the number 3 slot, formerly occupied by Bobby Abreu. For the Reds, Chris Heisey will come up and bat for Mike Leake. Heisey appeared as a pinch hitter last night and walked. Started the first game and had a base hit, went 1 for 5. And a strike. Heisey batted in the 9th inning last night against Jansen. So a strong performance by Mike Leake after the first inning. I mean, he was dynamite after the first. He finished up in the 7th inning a 5-pitch inning, so he wound up making 86 pitches. But he made 30 in the first inning and gave up the 3 runs. After that, he was really dynamite. Retired the last 13 in a row in the dirt. So Chris Heisey with 2 home runs, 16 runs batted in. In game 1, he played a little left field. Heisey's from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He has 3 bunt singles, but there's 2 strikes on him, 1 and 2. Two and 2. Heisey went to a small college, Messiah College in Pennsylvania. He really loved to play basketball. He thought if I went to a small school, I could play basketball and baseball. And he never thought he'd get a pro contract for baseball. Still 2 and 2 on the foul ball. And as Chris said, it was really more of a dream than anything else. I never thought it would become a reality. Two balls and 2 strikes. And down he goes. Not bad, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So that's 1 out in the 8th inning. Belisario is pitching tonight before a sellout crowd, the 6th sellout crowd of the year. 53,570. 5.3570. Cozart, a strike. The shortstop flied to right, single to left, grounded to third. Belisario pitched the 8th inning last night, but he only made 7 pitches. That's a strike, 0-2. Last night he pitched to Phillips, Bruce, and Ludwig. Got them all on ground balls. Now he comes in and strikes out Heisey, the pinch hitter. Off the plate. One and 2 to Cozart. Down he goes. So Belisario continues to come in and do wondrous things. The opposition was hitting 128 against him. 26 innings, he has 19 strikeouts, but a 128 batting average. Now Stubbs, and of course in this kind of a game, Dodgers lead by 2 out. It's an extremely important at-bat for Stubbs because of the presence of Joey Votto on deck. But Stubbs is the guy who has drawn blanks. Right. Stubbs is 0 for 27. So even someone like Votto can't hit a home run with the bases empty and tie up the score. So this is a big at-bat. 1-1. Bill Bray, Sean Marshall warming up in the Cincinnati pen. Scott Elbert in the Dodger pen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Drew Stubbs. One and 2. Stubbs did not face Belisario last night. Belisario did not pitch in the first game of the series. Stubbs 1 for 4 and now make it 1 for 5 against Belisario. All he does is strike out the side. Stubbs is now 0 for 28 And at the end of 7.5, 3-1 Dodgers. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, but it's the first inning that holds the story. Gordon doubled and Cruz singled him in. Abreu singled to set up another scoring opportunity, and Loney cashed it in. Adam Kennedy hit into a force. Bad throw by Kozar. Scored Abreu, and that's it. The Dodgers get 3 in the first. Leake turns around and becomes the fine pitcher that he is, but the question is, did his recovery come too late? Bill Bray, the left-hander, only in his 8th game, where last year he was in 79. He's out of Virginia Beach, but he now lives in Grapevine, Texas. Came over from the Washington Nationals. And a strike to D. Gordon. Gray went to William and Mary and majored in business. Breaking ball misses. Bill Bray, 6'3", 228, 28 years old. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball, foul just outside of first. In looking at the starting pitching, you can see 1 walk. That was allowed by Harang. They each struck out 5. Number of pitches almost the same. Earned runs, well, Leake gave up 2, but then the bad throw by Kozar cost him the 3rd run. Harang's run was a home run. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen begins to warm up. Jansen made 18 pitches to close up shop last night. D. Gordon 1 for 3, hitting .229. 2-2. Now 3-2. Bray has only been in 7 games, and his earned run average is 9. Fastball low, so that's asking for trouble. Put Gordon aboard with a walk. That is the first walk the Dodgers have received today. Bray in 4 innings has allowed 5 hits and 4 runs, so he has struggled. Now Luis Cruz singled to right, doubled, and hit back to the box. Lewis, in his brief time with the Dodgers, hitting .375. Open stance. Ball 1. Well, Mike Leake went 7, allowed 3 runs, 6 hits, no walks, hit a batter, struck out 5. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball 2. When the Reds come up in the 9th inning, you get the heart of the order. Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, and Jay Bruce. So about the best the Reds have will be coming up in the 9th. 2-0 the count to Cruz. And a strike, 2-1. On a 2-1 count, we'll see if they're going to play hit and run. They've got Gordon at first ready to fly. There he goes. The pitch is low. The throw is late. No chance for Mesoraco. It was a bad pitch. Ideally, if you're the catcher and you want to defend, you'd like to get a pitch high up. Instead, he had to dig it out and throw it much too late. So Gordon steals second. Going all the way. For D. Gordon, he's now stolen 29 out of 37. Cruz trying to pick him up. Remember, the number 3 slot was occupied by Ronald Belisario. So Juan Rivera will come out on deck now to be ready to hit for Belisario, who did his job. He just came in, struck out the side on 14 pitches. 3-1 to Cruz. Nobody out. Gordon at second. 3-1 Dodgers. 3-2. Cruz with 3 RBIs. Bray struggling a little bit. Walked Gordon. Then he gets burned on the stolen base. And he goes 3-2 to Cruz. He's backed up now. Jose Arredondo, a right-hander, gets up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Fastball pulled foul off the protective railing right into the hands of Jeff Nelson, the third base umpire. Still 3-2 to Luis. Luis, well put together. He's got to be around 200 pounds. And listed at 6'1". So Bray walks Gordon, stolen base. Now 3-2 to Cruz. He's made 12 pitches. Phillips trying to hold Gordon at second base, and then Bray's not ready. Still 3-2. Three and two to Cruz, and it's popped in the air, foul out of play. So Cruz hanging tough, waiting on deck. Juan Rivera, who just celebrated his 34th birthday yesterday. Our nation celebrating its 236th birthday today. So again, 3-2 to Cruz. And popped in the air, foul. No play for Mesoraco. Back into the stands. Dodgers with their 6th sellout on this 4th of July. Of course, things have changed over the years. In the so-called old days, you always had a doubleheader on Memorial Day. You also had doubleheaders on July 4th, and you always had a doubleheader on Labor Day. No more. In the dirt, fouled away, so Cruz still there, and Gordon at second. Of course, then again, when you're talking about doubleheaders on holidays, those were the days of Ladies' Day. That has long been forgotten, but there were games scheduled throughout the year where a lady could come to the ballpark and be allowed in free. 3-2 the count to Cruz. There goes Gordon to third. The pitch is low. The throw. He is safe. So D. Gordon steals third. Might have hurt himself going in head first, however. Going in with those hands. Looks like he slid into the tag, doesn't it? And he immediately leaves the field. So he might be ruled safe, but he's in trouble. Yeah, it looks like that right hand really got mauled by the tag. So that puts runners at first and third, and we'll just see about who's the runner at third. The Cruz walks, back-to-back walks by Bray. Tim Wallach talking to the plate umpire, Chris Guccione. Don Mattingly coming out to talk. Juan Rivera will be coming up. Mark Ellis will take over at third base. Wow, welcome back. My goodness. So Ellis getting a reception. Welcome to see him back. And he replaces Gordon. And we'll have to find out. It looked like Gordon hurt his right hand, but he was ruled safe by Jeff Nelson. So Dusty Baker unhappy with Bray, and we'll be right back. Bullpen. Among other things about Jose, one thing really jumps out at you. So far this year, he has inherited 8 runners and only 1 has scored. He's 4-2 with a good ERA. Of course, the Cincinnati bullpen, as we mentioned a couple of innings ago, has been dynamite. The bullpen has 16 wins. They've allowed 50, well, they have the 15th lowest number of inherited runners scoring. To show you what that means, that's 56% below the National League average. So the bullpen's been dynamite. They also throw hard. They've averaged over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the bullpen. So anyway, Arredondo trying to get some outs after Bray couldn't. Infield up with a runner at first and third. Ball 1. Juan Rivera in his 1,000th game and 34 years old. Facing Arredondo with Mark Ellis at third. Cruz at first. 2-0. Arredondo is from San Pedro de Macri in the Dominican. Behind Rivera, 2-0. Arredondo had Tommy John surgery in 2010. He was originally signed 10 years ago by the Angels, and this is his second year with Cincinnati. Arredondo was moved to the mound after 2 rather mediocre years as a shortstop. Just couldn't hit. 2-0. 2-1. Rivera batting .256, 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in. It's 3-1 Dodgers, trying to add to it here in the 8th. They have runners at first and third, nobody out. In the dirt. D. Gordon stole second and third, but suffered a hand injury as he went into the bag head first and third, so Mark Ellis is running for him. Mark was activated today, but it could be the Dodgers have lost their shortstop for a while. We'll have to wait and see. 3-1 the count to Rivera with James Loney on deck. 3-2. Boy, Arredondo walked 21, struck out 38. So 38 strikeouts in 34 innings. January of this year, he signed a 2-year deal with the Reds. So 3-2. We'll see what Cruz does at first. Nobody out. Cruz is not going. And that is fouled at the plate, or is it strike 3? Didn't get an indication. Apparently it was fouled. First base occupied, so we had to wait and see. So Rivera is still there, 3-2. Mesoraco out with a brief message for his pitcher Arredondo. Three to 1 Dodgers, bottom of the 8th. To repeat, Votto, Phillips, and Bruce in the 9th. 3-2. Cruz holds. And a big bouncer speared at third by Frazier. And they have Mark Ellis in a rundown. High throw. Now the fake and the tag by Arredondo. And the Dodgers, meanwhile, have runners at second and third. One of the things that always amazed me is how poor major leaguers are in rundown. I don't know if they ever practice or what. This is as bad a rundown play as you'd ever want to see. A bad throw to the catcher. Then the high throw. Now it's going to be the pitcher tagging out the runner on his way to home. Well, they got away with it, but over the years, I have such respect and admiration for major league players, with that one exception. They just can't do a smooth rundown. So now Loney with first base open, they're going to put him on with Adam Kennedy coming up. So in a moment, the bases are loaded. the third walk in the inning. So Arredondo winds up making the put out on Ellis as he's being run towards home. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 3 hits for the Reds. Adam Kennedy today hit into a force play, single to right, and struck out. So another meeting, Mesoraco and Arredondo. And Adam Kennedy checking in, hitting .231. So you have James Loney at first. Out there at second is Rivera. Over at third is Cruz. And Adam Kennedy, who has 2 grand slams in his career. The last one 4 years ago. And ball 1. Adam with 10 runs batted in. Cruz talking to Wallach briefly. Rivera taking his lead and Loney away from first. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2. Remember last night the Dodgers squeezed in a run. So Cruz, Rivera, and Loney wait. Two and 1 the count. Mark Ellis being activated, though it could be that Adam Kennedy will give way to the veteran second baseman. Ellis making his first appearance tonight as a pinch runner. Could be ready to start at second base against Arizona. Two and 1. And a high fly ball into left center. Should be deep enough to get Cruz home. The catch by Stubbs. Cruz will score, and the Dodgers lead 4-1. So a big RBI for Adam Kennedy. The veteran welcomed back in the dugouts with high fives. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 3 hits for the Reds. And now Scott Van Slyke. Van Slyke with Rivera at second, Loney at first, and 2 out. Scott struck out, hit back to the box, and popped up, or all those at-bats were against Mike Leake. Oh and 1. Van Slyke batting .174. Up with the Dodgers earlier, down to Albuquerque, now back up again. Jose Arredondo, the third Cincinnati pitcher. The pitcher of record is Mike Leake, who gave up 3 in the first inning and then was close to brilliant after that. Rivera and Loney out on the lines. That's in the dirt. 1 and 1. Mesoraco has been pretty busy handling 3 pitchers, plus Gordon running the bases a bit on him. One and 1. That's foul back 1 and 2. Don't forget, 9th inning, it's Votto, Phillips, and Bruce. Looks like it'll be Kenley Jansen for the Dodgers. Reds began the day with Pittsburgh already winning. So the Reds started the night a half a game back of Pittsburgh. The Dodgers started after the Giants lost, tied for first. Off speed, he's way out in front of it, and that's it. So the Dodgers get 3 walks and a fielder's choice for a run, and Kenley Jansen will inherit a 4-1 lead. Into the 9th inning, and then after the game we'll go over to Arizona. Nathan Eovaldi will go up against Wade Miley. Eovaldi's still looking for his first win. He's 0-5. Wade Miley having a great start. He is 9-4, but again, remember the Diamondbacks are really struggling, and the Padres have taken a lead again against Arizona, 4-3 in the 7th inning. Alexei Amarista singled home a go-ahead run against Ian Kennedy. Dodgers rearranged the infield after changing the outfield. Adam Kennedy is now at third. Luis Cruz, who had been at third, is at short. Mark Ellis, who ran for Gordon, stays in the game and plays second base. James Loney remains at first. And Kenley Jansen on the mound. Kenley came in last night, pitched the 9th inning, gave up 1 walk, made 18 pitches, and that's all he gave up. At least 1 strikeout in 31 of his games. So after a very impressive inning by Belisario, now the Reds will look at Jansen. Joey Votto. Right. Votto doubled in the first inning, flied to left center, flied to left, 1-for-3. Jansen has walked 13 and struck out 56. A little better than 4-1. 1-1. Votto batting .352. He'll be heading to Kansas City for the All-Star game. 1 ball, 1 strike. High fly ball down the left field line. Van Slyke crossing the line, can't make a play. 1-2. We have not heard a word about D. Gordon. All we know is he apparently hurt that hand, and you can see it all wrapped. But what actually happened to it, we're not sure, and we're not going to guess. We did see the hand go under third base with that head first slide. 1-2 to Joey Votto. Down he goes. So that means the last 4 Cincinnati hitters have struck out. You had Heisey, Cozart, and Stubbs all strike out in the 8th against Belisario. Now Votto strikes out against Jansen. And here's Brandon Phillips. 2 ground balls and a pop fly, 0 for 3. Brandon in his career average has come down a little. He's now hitting, if I had to guess, around 380 in his career at Dodger Stadium. For the year against the league, he's hitting 280. And strike, 0-1. One out in the 9th, 4-1 Dodgers. And a high fly ball down the right field line, slicing away into the crowd. Herrera for a look and nothing else. 0-2. One out, 9th inning, 4-1 Dodgers. Trying to move back into first place after all that has happened to them. Losing 8 out of 9, shut out 5 out of 6. They're 2 outs away from going back to the penthouse. Well, that's 5 strikeouts in a row by Messrs. Belisario and Jansen. So 2 down, and here's Jay Bruce. Boy, that's pretty impressive, huh? Harang goes 7 and strikes out 5. And then they bring in Belisario. He strikes all 3. They bring in Jansen, and he has struck out the first 2. So 10 Reds have struck out. Bruce has struck out, flied to center, and walked. High fly ball, that ought to do it. Van Slyke is at the other end of it. Yep. And the Dodgers, believe it or not, after all the pain and the anguish, move back into first place in the National League West. Kenley Jansen made 8 pitches to shut down Cincinnati in the 9th. Belisario made 14 pitches to shut him down in the 8th. And Aaron Harang picked up the win, 6-5. What kind of a Pyrrhic victory it would be depends upon the outcome of the damage that D. Gordon did to his right hand. We can also tell you bottom of the 7th, Padres 4 and D-backs 4. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live. It's coming up next. Good evening, everybody.